About 12 years ago, I felt called to write a book. And for some reason, I just never seemed to move forward with it. And I couldn't figure out why. And, the book is about inspiring people on their spiritual path and in their lives. And I really wanted to write it. And so you invited various people to come to Let's Create Tuesdays. And I thought, well, he seems fun and he's inspired, and I could, use some of that inspiration. He's written a book, and you were really down to earth. And so I thought, okay, I'll give this a try. And I remember the first few times that I attended Let's Create Tuesdays, I felt like a fraud because I thought, well, these people are creatives. They create. And who am I to say that I create? I mean, really, am I? But you kept saying everyone is welcome and we're all creative. And that began, like sinking in. And so once I got past that, a roadblock that came up was that when I would sit down to write, I felt like a cheater. And I remember telling you about this, and you helped me with this. And then you began teaching us about creativity being an essential in our lives.
Real quick, the cheater part was that you were going to have too much fun or something like that, or you shouldn't have that much fun, something like that.
Yeah, too much fun, goofing off,
Yeah,
not being productive enough.
Yeah.
When in reality, this could be something that really helps me, helps others, that type of thing. And so, you began, saying that it's essential, like breathing and water and food and sleep and connection with others. And I was like, what is he talking about? Because I definitely have this different image of like that some people were in the category of being creative.
Right.
And maybe even a bit cursed in a way, because so many times I hear people say, well, I'm creative, but I can't seem to make money at it. So that just kind of came forward.
Right. So you're even linking it to that it's not necessarily a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. Okay.
So that's gotten better. And then another roadblock that you helped me with was this idea that I had to sit down and have this huge amount of time to write. Right. And if I didn't have that, then it wasn't going to get me anywhere to just sit down and just do a little bit of writing here and there. But you began saying, I wrote this book in 15-minute increments or 45 minutes here and there. And so you helped me create a new habit of most mornings waking up and writing before I started coaching other people about their lives.
Right.
And so what I realized is, 12 years ago, this desire to write came in. 12 weeks ago, I started attending Let's Create Tuesdays, and I did the half-day workshop with you and a few sessions that came along with that. And now, just in that amount of time, I've written almost 12,000 words.
Wow, 12,000. Wow.
In these little,
because that's got to surprise yourself even, right?
Yeah. A friend of mine pointed to my computer and said, look at the number of words you've written. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. I just kind of kept plugging away and having it set up like you told me to, where you just get up, open your computer up, you're ready to go. Yeah.
And I heard you say sometimes it literally is just sometimes like 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they add up.
Yes.
And you said 12,000, not 1,200, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very surprising. So just by doing the creative time on Tuesday nights with you all and being in that wonderful group energy that you lead, and then doing usually about 5 mornings a week, it has it's built up.
And then tell me, and I think I can hear it, and obviously people may not obviously know you, but it seems like you're having fun and are lighter, would be my words. How would you say you are throughout this whole process and now, comparing like now as opposed to 3 months ago?
Well, it feels like there's more joy in my life, and It feels like my life's more meaningful and rewarding, and I'm really doing something I want to do
Mm-hmm.
and have felt called to do. And so it just feels like I'm in more alignment with life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I'm always talking to clients and students about, so once we're past this pandemic, what will you have learned? What are you learning now as you go through it?
Mm-hmm.
And it feels good to say, I learned about creativity and I learned about what my roadblocks were. And I feel like they've lifted and I can be more of myself
Mm-hmm.
and be more true to myself.
That's,
So I'm really grateful. I am so grateful
yeah,
to you.
that's fantastic. I mean, it's just so wonderful because I was just talking to another person and they were talking about being true to themselves. And I said to them, like, what does that mean to you? So if I was going to say, what does that mean you're being more true to yourself? Well,
What comes forward is, instead of always looking out to see what others need,
mm-hmm.
that it's more of a turning in and seeing what I need. And I think I've heard you say this, that as we do that, as we take care of what we need, what's right for us, it overflows into our lives
Yeah.
in various ways. Like you've said, you're, a better husband, better at your work and father and all those things. And so it's a beautiful thing that happens. It's like more of a turning in when I'm so used to looking outside of me to see what needs to be done.
Right. And what I've found and exactly for me is when I do take that time and I'm a writer. So when I write and tap into that creativity and fun, I literally have more energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
opposed to, and which is a really interesting thing because you'd think, a lot of people think, oh, like some people are saying, look, what does it really matter if I take 20 minutes and do some poetry? Like, look at the way the world's in the situation. Is that really important? And I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, if poetry is your thing, then yeah, because if you do that, then you're just going to tap into fun and lightness and love and energy. And then you'll be like a little bit calmer, a little more relaxed, a little more clear. And then you'll actually be able to help other people in the world from that place as opposed to trying to help them from a frantic or depleted or something else.
Exactly. And I've found that I'm able to talk to my clients more about their creativity
Mm,
and what are they doing to express themselves. Whereas before I could talk about that, but I didn't quite understand it. And so just like in this short amount of time, listening to you and being guided by you, it's it's like it's clicked
mhm.
into place.
Well, listening to me and being guided by me and taking the action and doing it yourself,
Hmm.
really. Yeah. I mean, I can listen to a bunch of people talk about exercise and movement. It's not until I start doing it on a somewhat regular basis that all of a sudden I'm like, I feel much better. That's a brilliant idea. Why didn't someone tell me I should move? Right?
Or just thinking about it, or
That's right. I've been hearing this thing about walking for a long time. Why didn't someone tell me it really works? Right. Or drinking water. Oh, I'm supposed to be hydrated? Like that's going to help my brain?
Yeah, and I love your sense of humor and your joy, and you're so inspired
Yeah.
about creativity, and so it just overflows, and it's been great.
Tell me a little bit about the other people in the group that you've connected with.
I've really enjoyed the different personalities, the different ways of like expressing themselves, and it's been inspiring to me. For one thing, some people are kind of like me, where they're like, "Am I creative? You know,
Mm-hmm.
can I be?" And I love seeing all the different things that people choose to do. Not that we have to show our work or anything like that, but seeing somebody tie dyeing or playing a piano that they haven't played in a long time, or creating like little clay figures or something. It's so much fun and so inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate that too. And so many people have said that too, that there's this commonality of creativity, but the way it's being played out vastly different, right? They
Hmm.
have people working on novels and nonfiction books and painting, and then you've got a wide range of everything. And the commonality is tapping into their creativity and really shifting into having fun with it, learning how to really, yeah,
Hmm. And I love hearing what people say, and you get that going, because you'll just put things out there and make jokes and be honest and real, and then that encourages other people to do that.
super. I'm so glad it's working.
Mhm.
To be honest, because that was my vision, and I said to someone else actually is like I didn't even know if this was going to work online. Tell you the truth, I mean it was totally. I had that idea, and I've seen it working, one on one with people about tapping into creativity, then creates new possibilities, new joy. But I was like, well, I don't know, let's give it a whirl. So I'm
Yeah.
really, it's beautiful.
Yes, it
Yeah,
really is. I thought,
and
what an interesting idea. I've got to try this.
yeah, yeah, and that's that's why I really wanted to not just talk about creativity, but actually have each person do their thing, because really that's when I was learning about writing, every once in a while, I'd get a book from an author about writing, and there'd be like a 300-page book, and part of me was like, uh, "Dude, you should be writing, not just reading about writing. Like, you're gonna put off writing for another 3 weeks to read this book about writing, which is like a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? It's a
Mhm.
little. I mean, I get it, but anyhow, so I was like, let's just get in there and do it.
Yeah, that's the other thing that helps so much is to get past this idea that there's the right way to do it.
Hmm.
And instead, just go for it. Just do it. See what happens.
Excellent. All right, thank you. That's fantastic.
Thank you.